Hello everybody, welcome to the next episode in some different mods that I use very regularly that I think people like you want to know more about, and this one is all about the mod Minihud. Now Minihud has a ton of different options to use, but one of the big ones is the light level. So before we can even get into talking about the light level of Minihud, we have to know how to get into the main menu to set a keybind to toggle the light level on and off. So the way to do it is hold H and press C, and that would probably bring you to the generic menu of Minihud. Now what the generic menu does is different things. So let's bring up a good one. So this one says whether or not holding shift is required for shulker box preview, and I guess that's untrue. So now that I have a shulker box full of stone, with the shulker requires shift, I have to press and hold shift and it brings up shulker box preview. Or if I hold H and press C, I can go back. Shulker preview is on, require shift is off. If I go here, yep, it automatically displays whatever is in any shulker box. So if I did a whole bunch of these, you can see that they are all the same. They're all the same, but I can preview all of them to show what is inside them. So now that we know how to open Minihud with the HC combo, we can go into renderers to talk about light level. So as you can see, I have my hotkey right here set to F7, but you can set it to literally whatever you want. I don't know why you'd want to do it as that combo, but you totally could. So if you wanted to, you could do like HO for overlay, or say HL for light level, but I just do F7. Makes it simple one key press. But if you notice, to turn on the main rendering, you have to press just the letter H. And you can see at the bottom it says toggle Minihud main rendering on. And now when we press F7, you can see that there are a bunch of numbers on the ground with different colorings and boxing and stuff like that. Well, if the number is highlighted or is green, just green, that means hostile mobs will not spawn here. But if it says 0 with a yellow box around it, that means hostile mobs will spawn here at night. But if it is 0 with a red box around it, that means hostile mobs can spawn here at any point. Doesn't matter time of day, or if thundering, raining, tornado, whatever. Mobs can spawn here. And with the new 118 spawning mechanisms, which I also have a video on, the hostile mobs will spawn at light level 0 only. Not like before where it was 7 or lower, it is at 0. So Minihud is updated with the new spawning mechanics. Now you may notice in my top left that I have a bunch of info lines popping up with different things. So first I have FPS, then I have the time of day, the current time, where I am, and then the date, the XYZ coordinate of where I physically am in the world, the direction I am facing, the server TPS and the MSPT, the ping if I were on a public server, you could see what it is. Mine is normally around 100. And then the last one that looks up or pops up when I'm looking at a block is looking at block. And now, if I were to press F3, all of these things are in here. It's literally all in the F3 menu already. So if we do FPS is way up there, then we have looking at target block in the bottom right, XYZ coordinates, stuff like that, the direction I'm facing. But instead of having to look through that dumb big menu, I just use this and it is right there in the top left, and it is very well away from the main screen than looking at this and trying to do other things. And you might be asking, how do I get that stuff up there? Because I think the default is pretty much nothing up there, or it's very not all of this. And the way you do that, the way you do that is hold H and press C again and go to info lines. And you can just go in here and press whatever you want. So if I wanted to do dimension ID, you can see that now in the XYZ coordinate, we have dimension Minecraft overworld. If I would be end, it would be end, and nether, and so on and so forth. And you can look at all of these and figure out what you want or what you don't want. So you can do the speed. There you go. There's your speed, 5.6 meters per second. There you go. This thing that Minihud can do for you is show the spawning radius of yourself or where mobs can spawn. So if we go into shapes now, we can do, say, despawn sphere, add sphere. So this will add a mob radius despawn sphere centered at your current location. And you can go to configure and change the center of that. So we can go up one or whatever. And we can also add can spawn sphere around you. So if we wanted to say, because mobs can, at least hostile mobs can only spawn a radius greater than 24 blocks away from the player at any time. So they will not spawn at 24 or lower, 24 or closer to you. But you saw I enabled them, but I don't see anything. And that's because if we go into renderers in the Minihud config, we need to have the shape renderer with a hotkey. And I just have HU. Again, you can set it to whatever you want. But if we do H and U, it would turn on. But if you look at the top left, I have nothing up here. That means Minihud's main renderer is not on. Good test for all the debugging that is required for these types of mods. So if I press H, now we can see all of the two spheres. We can see both of them. So this inner one right here shows where mobs will not spawn around the player. But the bigger one shows where mobs will despawn. So this is mainly used for spawn proofing of farms, like say a slime farm that you dig a big hole or a chunk of, or say a gold farm and you want to, that's built on the nether roof and you need to spawn proof some parts of the nether. Well, this can show you exactly where you need to do it. So like if I had my AFK spot up there for a slime farm, but I need to despawn or spawn proof all of this flat area and all of these caves underneath. Well, that's kind of what Minihud is great for. Is finding slime chunks. So if you know the seed of your single player world or of your multiplayer world, since I'm in single player, I can just do /seed and it brings up the Minihud seed. But if you don't have that /seed command, the way to set the seed in a multiplayer or other single player world, if you don't have the /seed command, is to type this in Minihud-seed and then the seed number. And you can see it does the same thing as if I do /seed. It sets the Minihud world seed to that number. And what that does, if we do HC again, so if we go into renderers and just say look up slime chunks is right here. So if we do say HS for slime, and we do HS, now we can see all of the slime chunks that are in the immediate area around me. And these green boxes are height dependent. So you can see however high I am in the world is how high the slime chunks load. So if I'm way down here, can't see a lot of them. A lot of them are hard to see, but if you are higher up, it is a lot easier. So if you go on like a big hill, now if I were to walk down or with an elytra fly around, they will be set at that height. And this is probably the easiest way if you know the seed to find slime chunks, because you can just literally fly around and say if you want a double slime chunk, boom, double slime chunk right there. Or if you wanted a triple slime chunk, boom, triple slime chunk right there. It is so nice. And with that, I think that will end my mini tutorial on Minihud. And if you want to see a longer version of a Minihud tutorial, make sure to comment below. And if you liked it, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.